just as in Syria, there's so many parallels with the media reporting and lack of reporting, how they did in Syria, how they do regarding Ukraine's war crimes. Over the course of the war on Syria, we would often hear reports of the Syrian regime or Russian forces bombing civilians in hospitals in Aleppo, for example. There was the Eye and Children's Hospital complex in Aleppo, which was taken over by various terrorist brigades over the course of, since 2012-13 onwards. And Aleppo was liberated in late 2016. And they were using these hospitals as headquarters. They gutted them. They were no longer functioning as hospitals. They're functioning as terrorist headquarters. And at least the Eye and Children's Hospital had a dungeon below, a prison below, with solitary confinement cells, where both Syrian soldiers and civilians were held and interrogated and tortured and eventually, sometimes not always, killed. So the media would report, well, the Syrian government regime, they'd say, or Russians are bombing hospitals. And in the case where that particular complex was bombed, it was a legitimate military target because it was a terrorist headquarters. But you fast forward to, in Dara, in southern Syria, before the city was completely liberated. I went there, I forget which year, 2018 or so, and it was being shelled by a terrorist, and I went to the state hospital. And it was very difficult to reach. The taxi I was in had to gun it down like 100 meters or so because there were terrorist snipers like 100 meters off to, I guess it would have been the right west, or I'm not sure. I think it would have been the west. And half the hospital was out of commission from terrorist bombing or the potential of terrorist sniping. But the media didn't care to talk about that hospital. They didn't care when Ukrainian forces bombed a Donetsk maternity hospital in June last year. I went there the morning after. Thankfully, people weren't killed because they'd been sheltering in the basement due to the intensity of the bombing. But, that's a clear example of Ukraine targeting a hospital. And there were many other examples of Ukrainian forces targeting hospitals, schools, and other civilian infrastructure. Not a peep in the media. I love